everyone. Jamie here from the NOIC Godcast, where we offer wacky wisdom weekly from God's Word. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about how the work is worth the reward. So if I ask the people at this table and at home if they want to be in good shape, like the best shape that they've ever been in their lives, I feel like the answer would be yes. Like, who doesn't want that? Or maybe if I asked anyone here if they wanted to be a master at a skill or a trade, everyone would be like, yes, of course. What other answer is there? But if I asked everyone if they wanted to follow a workout program that required them to spend 1 to 2 hours a day working out 7 days a week, or, they would have to spend that same time, that 1 to 2 hours, practicing their skill of choice in order to meet their goal, I feel like the answers would start changing a little bit.
That's why we're all still fat.
That's why I'm like, look at us. So I think that the answers would start changing. This isn't always the case, but in most cases, people want the reward, the positive outcomes, but they're not willing to put the work into something to get that reward. They all want the good results without lifting a finger. As Christians, we are this way with trials. We want the close relationship with God, or the great testimony, or we want to be given important jobs in, God's ministries. But we don't want to go through the trials that make us ready and willing to have those opportunities. We want to stay in our nice little bubble where it's comfortable and we get to make decisions on what we will and will not do, but reap the benefits of having great faith. I know that Miguel talked last week of Peter walking to Jesus on the water. We want to be able to get to Jesus and have faith in him, but we don't want to step out of the boat. Mm-hmm. Do you see how that is crazy that we are expecting to receive rewards on something that we're not willing to put the work into? Trials are hard. There's no way around it. They're unpleasant, and sometimes they feel like there is just no way out. That you will be forever stuck where you are. But God is using this to further his plan. James 1, 2 through 4 says, "My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into divers temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her work, or her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, nothing or wanting nothing." Trials can be used for many different things, but typically the reasoning for trials will fall into two separate categories. It's for you and for others. So sometimes the reason for the trial is aimed at you. Whether he is trying to make you have more faith or to show you how great and mighty he is, he has a plan, and it is to make you better. God is not trying to make you miserable. He is trying to make you malleable. He wants to be able to use you for a specific purpose. But first, you must be able to draw close to him and allow him to change you. Other times, the reason for the trial is for outward focus. Sometimes the trial is to show other people how amazing God is. That might be showing his power by bringing you through an awful diagnosis, or he's giving you a peace that someone without God just can't understand. Regardless, God is always using the sad or the bad things in your life to better you somehow. Just like the discussion we had earlier, where everyone wants to, have the reward without the work. People want to be close to God without relying on him. You cannot be given responsibilities in the church or in a ministry without being uncomfortable. You can't be a good, consistent Christian without going through trials.
Yeah. I think that Satan has a way of, because we're always told that Satan's giving us the bad things. Satan's the one attacking us. But I think God obviously is the one in control. He's the one that gives us trials too. But even when God's the one testing you, Satan's still going to try to come up and
Oh,
use that for his
mhm.
advantage too. And so trials can either, you can allow Satan to tear you down and to bring you down, or you allow God to grow you up and grow closer to him.
Yep.
It's a matter of choice and perspective of what you're letting affect you.
Well, and I think that's the thing. I think that it's and I don't know if it's necessarily just Western world. I think it's like everywhere. But like, I think the problem is that we feel too entitled to think that a trial that God would, I think that's the reason why we always think it's Satan,
Mhm.
because we're all like, God wouldn't give me something to go through. Like as if this is like a brand new thing. Like he
Right.
didn't, have his own son die on a cross for the people that messed up. You know what I mean? Like we're so in this spot where God would never make us go through anything hard. That's literally what he does. He makes you go through the hard things because you aren't entitled to having just normal. Did Jesus just have normal? No. Like he was persecuted. He had all these things. And why would we think that we would be better than that?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what we get so like caught up in, that our trials are the things that we go through that, like you said, it's from Satan, or it's not, or we even get caught up in the thing of like, it's so hard. How could this be a benefit of mine, or how could this benefit others? When in reality, God could have us go through these things to show other people just how good he is. And it really is hard when you're going through that initially to see exactly where God's leading you, or what he wants you to do, or how this could even be anything of any sort. But then it's like that song Flowers. Like flowers grow in the valleys, in the times when it's hard, and then you see where God planted that seed just from that thing that you were going through that was absolutely horrible. And you get to choose whether it helps you or even if it helps others. Because if you're down in the dumps the entire time and that's all how you act the whole time you're going through it, people are going to see that.
Yeah. 100%.
So there's people in my life that I've seen their lives fall apart, or like major things happen to their lives. There's just like one thing after the other, and they're praising God through it. They're, the next Sunday they're still worshiping after losing a loved one or whatever it is. Like whether you realize it or not, that affects you.
Yeah.
Because when I see someone else that like they stub their toe and they don't come to church the next Sunday.
They're like, my toe, I can't, man.
Yeah, and then like they're gone for a while, versus someone who goes through a tragedy and they're still praising God. Like if they can face that when I have my little trials, like can I at least lift my hands up still? You know what I mean? Like use that to help grow other people. I think that we're affected without really realizing it.
Yeah. Well, I think too, when you're looking at God's plan, beyond what I was said one time, I am not the biggest piece of the puzzle. I don't even know if that ever made it into any bloopers.
Probably not.
But like when you're not the biggest piece of this puzzle. You are just being used. And I think that's the problem, is that we think that the good Christian life, like I was just saying, is the good, perfect, like you don't have to go through anything and you're just do. Like you are and I don't know what the word is, but like you are just a pawn almost. Not like that has a negative notation, but like you are literally something for God to use. You're a glove. And so you are literally just something for God to use. Like you may be you're going to be used for someone else's benefit down the road, but like it's hard for people to realize that their hardship may not benefit them necessarily, but it's going to help someone else. I think we're also selfish to think that this can't be for someone else. Like a good example is like when you have to go through something that just for the fact that you're going to come up against somebody else that went through the same thing, and you can tell them, you can get through this. God is going to get you through this. Like it may be the worst thing that you've ever gone through in your entire life, but you're going to be able on the other side, be able to tell someone that he's amazing, that he is good, that regardless of anything. And so it's really hard for our brains because we're selfish. We're like, we want things to go good for us, but you are literally being used by God. And that's the best thing to be, because that's where you're gonna get your peace. That's where you're gonna get your comfort. If you're just going through bad things, listen, you could go. Everyone's gonna go through bad things. You might as well go through some bad things with some peace and some comfort.
Well, because it's like we always talk about the abundant life. The abundant life isn't the perfect life.
Yeah.
But it is perfect because we're living through it with Christ.
Yes.
And how can we even begin to think that God wouldn't have us go through those things when we grow at the end of them?
Yep.
And that's what I think's like so hard, because people, even at the end, sometimes are like, God wouldn't have us go through this. But how can we even begin to think Satan had me go through this when we grew from it?
Yeah.
Like, that just boggles my mind
Right.
to
Yeah.
even comprehend or think, like, Satan's not going to have you go through something and
Yeah.
then
Grow
you're
closer
on the
to God.
mountaintop
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, you're just going to stay right
Yeah.
down there and struggle. And
Yeah. Well, you know, the funny thing is too is that it kind of breaks your brain a little bit, but like Satan has no power over God.
Mhm.
So if, let's say Satan, the story of Job,
Mhm.
Satan did those things to Job, but God allowed it.
Mhm.
yeah.
Like, regardless, God is allowing it to happen. It's not like, oh, he snuck past God this one time and is able to ruin my life with this thing. God knows exactly, and he is wanting you to grow through it. He wants you, he's seeing it, and he's like, okay, this is, ooh, sorry. Throw this cup. Like, this is going to be the best thing for you. I know that this is going to hurt. And the funny thing is, and I don't know if this is exactly how this works, but like, it almost is like Satan feels like he gets the one up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, like in the story of Job, I feel like he really was like,
Yeah.
I'm hurting your servant, and like all these different things. He
Well,
thought
and
he
then
was getting
when
it.
his wife was like, "Oh, like you should just curse God and die.
Yeah.
do it." Satan's
Just-
like,
yeah, do it. Listen to the wife. Like, he was, and that's the thing is, like, Satan thought he was getting an upper hand. He's like, God's letting me do this. Like, I'm gonna get the upper hand, and he didn't.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the thing is, like, when we're going through things, even if it is, it could be Satan testing you or tempting you or whatever.
I think he'll kick you while you're down.
Yeah, but like, God is allowing it.
Yeah.
God is showing you that you need to run to him, because again, if you're living a life and it's perfect, what's the need for God?
Exactly.
Like, why would you? If everything is perfect and nothing goes bad and you never had to go through anything, you wouldn't be grateful to God, because you'd be like, oh, I got this on my own, you know?
But like, so Jesus. So like, there's a difference of being a perfect person and having a perfect life.
Yes.
Like
yes.
Jesus was perfect.
Yes.
Like 100% perfect, and thinking of how sinful we are and how like it's just the like complete opposite of Jesus. Like,
Mhm.
we could never live a perfect life, but he did, and yet he still faced so many hardships and so many trials. Not just the crucifixion, which was
Yep.
terrible, but like all throughout his life, like
Yeah.
constantly being persecuted and all the things that he went through, and he was perfect.
Yeah.
Like who
Yeah.
do we think we are?
Well, it's just like when we were watching watched a movie with the kids yesterday.
Yeah.
And we was talking about the life of Jesus, and it is like when Pilate was like, what do you mean? Why do you want to crucify this man?
Yeah.
Like, what
No
has he
wrong.
done? Like,
Yeah.
what has he done? And everyone was just like, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Just do it anyway. And so I think that's the thing too, is that it can be I do believe that sometimes trials are for like discipline or like course changing. Like, God can use a trial, to make you change the way that you're doing something that he wants you to change. But like, I also just think sometimes it's not about you did something wrong, so here's
Yeah.
your outcome. It's, this is going to strengthen you.
Mhm.
This is going to be better for
It's-
you.
But the trials and storms we go through in life are always out of love.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
know, like I think of like our kids, it's so hard to discipline. Like, I would much rather not discipline my kids. Like this
Mhm.
week, Callan got in trouble, and he like doesn't normally care about getting in trouble,
Mhm.
which kind of irks me, because like you want them to like care, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And this week I got him. Like I punished him, and it broke him.
Yeah.
Like, he was so upset, and like there was like this slight like victory, I got him. But like as a mom, like I was like, I felt so bad
Yeah.
to make him go through that. But and like that's how God feels. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, he doesn't want to punish us or give
Mm-hmm.
us these storms and trials or the hardships, but he knows that it's going to be better for us.
Yeah.
And it's honestly the harder option as a parent
Yeah.
to discipline rather than just let them be spoiled brats. But it grows them and it helps them, and because we love them, we go through it anyway.
Well, you love them too much.
Yeah.
You love them. It's too important to let them be. Like, it's just like where God technically, I mean, he could have just never made a way back to him.
Yeah.
He could have literally just been like, well, you done messed up.
Yeah.
You made your decision, and now it's easier for me to just part ways
We
and
pay for our own sins.
yeah, let you do what you wanted to do. That's the easy end.
Mm-hmm.
What's the hard end is him giving his son. The hard end is having to correct each and every single one. There's a lot of us. And he has to correct every single. Could you imagine?
Every single mistake we make for every single one of us. Like, I have 4 kids. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Keep track of.
Like, could you, like, you know, when all your kids are being bad at
Mm.
once, like, can we just keep it clean for 10
Peanut butter
minutes?
jelly time.
Peanut butter jelly time. It is peanut butter jelly time. And that's the thing is, like, you're just like overwhelmed. God's not overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But like, just think about that. Like, I don't even know how many people there are in the world. A lot of people. I probably should know that number, but there's a lot of people. And could you imagine everybody's doing the bad thing and he's just like stares like, but he does it out of love. The whole point of this is because he wanted to create something that he loved, and he did. And then we were like, let me just do bad things. And then he's like, I still love you. I'm still gonna try to make a way, and not that you are forced to take that way. He wants you to have free will, but he wanted to create a way back to him, and it's out of love. And that's the whole thing. Trials are love. It just doesn't feel like it when you're going through it. It doesn't feel like it when your mom tells you to go to bed early. It doesn't feel like it when you're not allowed to play your video games, or you're in timeout, or, you know, whatever. It doesn't feel that way, but your mom loves you. And that's the same way that God is with us.
Well, and you reap the benefits in the end of that trial or whatever you're going through. And I don't think we always realize that.
Yeah, well, I think that once we get on the mountaintop, you almost kind of forget. Like, you're like, you feel like you just got here. It just like happenstance is here. You know what I mean? Like, everything up to this point, I think we forget that this is this whole part here where we were in this trial is the part that got us here. Like, a lot of times we're like, I'm glad that was over. This has just happened upon me. That's not that. It's this whole thing that got you to here.
Well, it's like you're on the mountaintop and you're like, wait a minute, what's that?
Yeah, right. You're like, what? I don't remember walking through that.
But like, I think that's like something, especially because like up until the point when my dad and everything that has happened recently, like I felt like I was on the mountaintop.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe God was preparing me, because like literally that Sunday before, I was playing during church and it just like went all over me. And I thought, I'm scared because my life is too good right now.
Yeah.
And that's what I think we really do when we're on the mountaintop. We almost just forget about it, and we don't even think about the fact that the fact that we should be like really praying about like what we're going to be going through ahead of time. Like not worrying about it, but just saying, God, prepare my heart, because I know it's too good right now. And I'm probably going to end up going. Wow, that's a lot of goings.
That's a lot of going.
I'm going to end up going through something and just prepare my heart for it. And that's something I think that I really like, I have to grow on. And that was a blessing to me, because I think God opened my eyes to show me like, you need to be more prepared and be like, okay, it looks like it's going good right now. So help me to be okay when it's not going good.
And that's the whole thing is each trial, you're not supposed to be starting back at ground zero every single time. The whole point is you're growing. And so each time he's going to face a new challenge that's going to change. It's going to make you deeper. But like, there's also this point of like, okay, I can trust him in this. So I've gotten here. And then you go through another trial and you're like, okay, I'm already here. I already trust him this much. And then you're going to be able to grow on top of that. And it's going to get to the point where it will, not that it's ever going to be, you know, easy. It's just going to be like, God's got this. And you're not going to have that worry the same way you did when you first started, you know? But yeah. Anybody else?
Good chats.
Good chats. Good chats. Like, sorry, I didn't know you guys were here. Today's considerable quote is by nobody.
Shocker.
Nothing reveals the stuff of which your faith is made of like going through tough times. Trials are God's way of lovingly exposing where you need to grow. So today, let that trial do its good work. And I'm sure there was somebody at some point that said that.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Like, I just said it, but like
someone else probably said it
so
before you.
yeah,
Or
somebody.
just AI.
It's just AI. It could be. It could be.
Nowadays, you don't know.
Chat GP. Is it GPT or TB?
He says yes.
Yeah, cool.
The certified geek nerd. I don't remember which one goes
He
by.
nodded
He nods.
nicely from the corner. Today's feature content is "Bring the Rain, Mercy Me," which was a camp song.
Many moons
Survivor
ago.
year. Was it 12?
I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah, Survivor because
Yeah,
like it was.
yeah.
Wasn't even there for that.
No, 2012. That was a long time ago.
Many moons.
Over 10 years ago. Wow.
Many moons.
Weird.
We were in Oak Harbor still.
Yeah, we were at Camp Zabrowski.
Yeah.
We were. I know. It's been a long time,
It's
guys.
been a long
It's been
time. Been a long journey.
Been a long journey. Oh, goodness. All right. So last week's question was, how long were Noah and his family on the ark? Was that
Close. Was that something
like that?
Along those
The
lines.
answer was D, which was 371? 370?
Somewhere in that.
Somewhere around that.
D.
D. They were around there lots of days. That's a long time.
It is. To be stuck with your family.
And
And
animals.
and stinky animals.
That is a
a
long
long
time.
time.
All right. So this week's trivia question is, how many steps are there in the basic water cycle? So
Wow.
yeah. So like from this to this to
Yeah.
the down.
I think most
again.
of us know what the water
The
cycle
water
is.
cycle is. I don't know. I was homeschooled, so I thought maybe somebody would need explanation.
that did explain a lot.
I know. Everyone's like, I didn't know what you're talking about until you went like this. Until you did the twinkle fingers. So the answers are A, 4, B, 6, C, 8, or D, 12. All right. And this week's birthday announcements is Piper Mills, Riley Richardson. That's one of us. Jacob Higginbotham, Ross Durfee, which I don't think I knew that.
Didn't know that he was a person.
I didn't know you were a person. I didn't know his birthday was so soon.
No.
Robert Palmer, Tanya Walker, Summer Hall, and Justin Spencer. You guys enjoy
Happy
your
Happy
birthdays.
birthday.
Nothing from the mail.
No. Sad. They had it last week.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
Good
missed
old
Chuck.
Yeah.
I know, really
Always-
surprising.
Yeah. We can always rely on him.
Wow, he's a good one. I really love that Josh thinks I can read that for like the thingies that we're announcing.
Yeah, I was thinking that when I was sitting here.
Oh, I
was
didn't
like,
realize
there's
I had
no
enough of
way.
CJ, could you read that for me? No. Is there anything I have to announce?
Registration.
Registration.
We are
halfway?
about halfway.
Almost halfway full.
Yeah, close to it. And like I know that there's a lot of like our church hasn't registered, and there's a lot of other churches that haven't registered. Like there's still a lot
I'll be
to register.
registering today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's filling up quickly. So
Very, very quickly.
get on it.
Is there anything else that we have to announce?
Probably.
Probably. Cool.